Today is Thursday, January 18, 2023, and the program is Inside Nigeria. It's reaching your leadership television, and my name is Winifred Ugebo, your anchor on the show. We have an area of newspaper for review on this segment of the program, and of course, talking about Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Leadership's Living Story says doubt trace January student loan take off. Doubt trace January student loan take off. Student body says no portal open for applications. Urges President Tinubu to act before month end. Commencement plans still intact, federal government declares. I'll take that leading story once again. Doubt trace January student loan take off. Student body says no portal open for applications. Urges President Tinubu to act before month end. Commencement plans still intact, federal government declares. Other stories on the cover says Northern Elders reject relocation of CBN key departments in court to Lagos. The story continues on page 7 of Leadership. Northern Elders reject relocation of CBN key departments to Lagos in court. AFCON, Super Eagles battle Cote d'Ivoire's elephants. Illegal foreign miners behind Ibadan explosion. Makinde, the governor of World Bank pushes states to access idle $329.52 million. And King Charles to undergo treatment for enlarged prostate. We'll go over to the business boss where we have electricity subsidy rises to 1.6 trillion naira as discos raise tariffs. Electricity subsidy rises to 1.6 trillion naira as discos raise tariffs. Above the masthead, 9,734 persons killed, 4,067 others abducted in 2023, according to reports. By elections, INEC releases final list of candidates. The story continues on page 7 of Leadership. From the headline stories, we move to the page 3 of the paper where we have our stand. Our stand is on the editorial of the paper. Our stand today is on a case for compulsory drug testing. A case for compulsory drug testing, which takes us to the back page of the paper where we have been blunt with Moazu Elize. Moazu Elize is the group managing director of Leadership Media Group, and he's writing on EFCC and ex-governors. EFCC and ex-governors. For more, log on to the website of Leadership, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we move over to the next paper on our menu, and that is THISDAY. THISDAY's headline story says, Wiki, that is FCT Minister Nyesom Wiki, we must stop paying ransom to kidnappers, bandits. Wiki, we must stop paying ransom to kidnappers, bandits. Federal government declares crowdfunding for ransom in kidnap cases against expert laws. Rise in criminal activities demands immediate, resolute action from all, says IG. Inaugurate special intervention squad for battle. FCTA to compile list of illegal settlements, shanties. Above that, we have federal court quashes regulation empowering NBC to find broadcast media. Federal court quashes regulation empowering NBC. That is, NBC is National Broadcasting Commission to find broadcast media. So of course, I know this is a good news for most broadcast stations. NEC, federal government has decided to continue subsidy payment until economy improves. NEC, that is Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, federal government has decided to continue subsidy payment until economy improves. And above the masthead of this day, Kyari links high cost of crude oil production in Nigeria to insecurity orders. The story is on page 5 of this day. Kyari, the NNPC Group Managing Director, links high cost of crude oil production in Nigeria to insecurity orders. And above that, CBN uncovers gross violations of market regulations, via sanctions. The state's commitment to clear legitimate forest backlogs, says settlements with foreign airlines on the way. These are the headline stories today on this day. For more, log on to the website of this day. The Punch is next on our menu, and of course, the Punch has similar story with that of this day, and it says abduction epidemic, police in massive deployment as federal government force raising ransom funds. Abduction epidemic, police in massive deployment as federal government force raising ransom funds. Police deploy armored personnel carriers, helicopter to Buhari, set up special unit. Bandits building camps in Abuja forest bordering Niger, Kaduna, minister laments. And still on Ibadan explosion, residents blame Malian illegal miners as federal government probes blast. Because we have a picture of the same Ibadan blast as its picture page story today. Ibadan explosion, residents blame Malian illegal miners as federal government probes blast. Underneath that, 2 hospitalized, 5 arrested over violent Kano celebration. Bandits kill man, adopt 13 children on Kaduna Road. JTF members killed by Boko Haram explosives in Borno. Above the masthead of the Punch has these stories. Bello approves 100% hazard allowance for COVID doctors. Government suspends electricity tariff hike. Power subsidy hits 1.6 trillion naira. CBN to tackle forest infractions with heavy sanctions. Of course, that is the last of the headline stories on the Punch today, Thursday, January 18, 2024. For more, log on to the website of the Punch. We will also move to the last paper on our menu on the first segment of this show, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian says outrage as Ibadan explosion exposes illegal mining with regulations. Outrage as Ibadan explosion exposes illegal mining with regulation. The story continues on page 6 of The Guardian. Of course, The Guardian has an area view of Ibadan explosion site. We also have the personalities and political officials who paid visits to the site yesterday. Beside that, we have 36 oil firms record $425 billion windfall in 12 months, says report. Agbakoba thanks Tinubu on new constitution. Families of adopted persons appeal to Tinubu, Makinde over 100 million naira ransom. Crowdfunding payment of ransom will worsen kidnapping. Federal government warns Nigerians. Without security, we have no business in government, says Wike. Naira falls to 1,320 naira per dollar amid uncertainty over NPC status. Nigeria may borrow more to sustain discos, Genscos as NEC adjust tariff. The news that continues on page 6 of The Guardian. And of course, with that, we've come to the end of The Guardian newspapers review this segment of the show. Don't forget, we have our guest, our Thursday guest, coming in on the second segment of the show. Don't go away, stay tuned.
Be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
Inside Nigeria is a breakfast show where we discuss fun headline stories and topical issues on the program. My name is Winifred once again, and of course, as you can see, I have with me in this video my Thursday guest. He is a political economist and a public affairs analyst, Olamilekan Adefolari. Thank you so much once again for your presence.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, throughout this week, starting from Monday, it's been security issues that has been making the rounds. It's right on some papers, and of course, today we still have the story on some of the papers we just read. But nevertheless, before we get to that, we have to discuss leadership story. Remember, President Bola Tinubu, on assumption of office, signed into law the student loan. And he also made adjustments when there were caused that some irregularities in the act. And the president did say that the loan will take off January. Leadership story says doubt trace January student loan take off. And the student body read one of the writers says, student body says no portal open for applications. So what do we have here?
For me,
there was so much fanfare made over this student loan act that the president signed into law.
And what followed that act was the row and so many contradiction and view that there are some segment of the law that it doesn't even portray that the loan is meant for students.
Yes.
And in another way, the loan is meant for a certain category of people. And even though the target of the law is to target the vulnerable people in society, but at the end of the day, we discovered that most of the vulnerable will be cut out of the way the formula of the loans will be implemented and applied. And that's why
the rigors too that they put in place, the bottlenecks for you to access the loan.
That's the law. That's the framework
the
of the law.
Proverbial camel passing through the eye of the needle to actually access that loan. So the president did say was going to look into it, and of course that the student loan will take off in January. But we're in the middle of January and nothing seems to have been heard about the loan. So are we still? Is it going to be just all talk as usual?
For me, it will still come back. I see it coming back, but
not in this January.
Not in this January. But what I've seen so far in the last 4 months is that there's a bit of distraction in governance.
Yes, presently.
Yes, there's a lot of distraction. Yesterday, I was talking to some media friends that we are also looking at the news around African Free Continental Free Trade Initiative. It's already ongoing. Some African countries have started implementing it, but up to now, Nigeria have not started doing anything around it. And what I was able to observe was that there is a little bit of distraction on the side of the presidency in terms of what is focusing on. And you can see there are two categories of things that the government is focusing on. One is how to strengthen the naira, and the other aspect is the issue of fiscal responsibility, fiscal spending of the government, how to make more money into the economy. And that's what the government is focusing on.
Right. And not issues of maybe probably student loan.
No. They will still come back to it, but it's not now.
All right, thank you so much. Now we are going to just talking about what the government president is preoccupying himself with, how to make more money and stabilize the economy. Meanwhile, the business story on this day today, just above the masthead, says CBN uncovers gross violations of market regulations via sanctions, with state's commitment to clear legitimate forex backlog. This isn't on the backdrop of the fact that naira has risen to 1,320 naira to $8. Naira keeps going up, and there seems no end in sight to bring it down. It
will continue to rise because we need to appreciate that one, naira is not just an exchange as a currency anymore. It's not an item to be traded on and make profit on. And that's why you see that the backlog that the CBN is talking about 14 banks, millions of dollars have been given to them because people have requested through PTA and BTA, business travel allowance and personal travel allowance. A lot of it has been in the last 2-3 years that both banks are not able to meet up. Now CBN have cleared that backlog, meaning that those people that have applied to that money, some of them have even gone somewhere else to go and get the money. So it's not left for the bank to now say they can now utilize that money and ensure that they give it to the right people that will need it. But on the aspect of naira exchange, it will continue to rise because one, we see having problem of the backup in terms of how many of these foreign currencies are we even generating. Apart from crude, we are generating very little. Then the problem with it is that, as CBN already pointed out, there is a little bit of a weakness in oversight of what the banks are doing when CBN gives them this currency.
Yes, like THISDAY just reported, CBN uncovers gross violations of market regulation?
It's very, very key. It's very, very key in the sense that most of these problems, I've said it on this platform, most of these problems with the bank is not the branch manager. It started from the top, from the MD, the owners of the bank. Once CBN give them this currency to use for exchange, they know who to give it to. And that's what really happened. That's why they are talking about violation. Violation is that they don't give it to the right people, or they give it to the right people, but they give more to some people and they give less to some people. The bank also look at where to generate profit. We must understand that the bank also is looking for way to generate profit, and that's why you see that they use this kind of arrangement to ensure that they give it to the people they can get more profit from, and not to people they will not get anything from. And that's why when you go there and say you apply for PT or BT as ordinary person, maybe you want to go school for abroad or education, they will not answer you because they know the people they will give it. They give the people that will import things that will quickly turn around, give them a lot of profit on it, than people that they will just give to go and spend it on tourism or education aspect.
Okay, thank you. Now, 2 days ago, there was a report by that Manufacturers Association of Nigeria were raising their alarm over this forest scarcity and whatnot. And what you actually said earlier came to my mind that perhaps the CBN or the federal government through the CBN needs to also look into the affairs of Manufacturers Association, because you talk about them demanding forest to procure maybe equipment and all those stuff. At the end of the day, they do round tripping without actually putting the money to the forest to use, that they are also contributory to what the situation we have now.
There's no doubt about that. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria is also guilty in this round tripping and violation of the regulation of FX in Nigeria. They know. Most of their members do that. The problem is that maybe because at the end of the day, the president of the Manufacturers Association is not carried along by his members, even though there was a time that CBN was releasing money for these people. Is Dangote not a member of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria? It's other companies that have been found wanting in this problem of FX are not members of Manufacturers. They are. But the issue is that maybe the body himself doesn't know how his members are getting those funds. But we know that the government is releasing those funds. So it's not left for the body to now do a house cleaning among his members. Because if they continue to shout, people like us will continue to tell them that look back, you are pointing a accusing finger at the government. The next first finger is on you because your members are the ones doing this round tripping and violating market regulation. So for me, house cleaning need to come up in the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. It's need for them to look at how they operate as an association and sanction their members before government will even sanction them. Because if government will sanction some of them, definitely some of them will go out of market.
Okay, what about CBN also playing that wearing the big stick?
The CBN will do that, but the issue is that you know the way association works. Most associations can use propaganda to bring down a government. They can do anyhow. They can use any means to make sure that, like what these Manufacturers Association is saying right now, is that even though they have been shouting all these years that they don't, some of them as members are more bigger than the others. Some have more money, and when they go to the market, they can eventually buy the entire forest in a day. Meanwhile, the other ones that are smaller ones may not be able to have enough naira to exchange for dollar and get enough forest from themselves. So that's what I see as a problem, in the sense that the MSMA within the Manufacturers Association are the ones suffering this forest effect, not the giant one. So it's like the association is not crying for the giant one. But even the smaller ones, what are they even doing? If they're importing equipment every year, every month, every day, what are the equipment that they importing? Can they run to some of these local manufacturers of those equipment for here in Nigeria? We have Nasani here manufacturing equipment, mining equipment, and other machinery. Can they run to them? I think for me, it's now opportunity for the manufacturers to now look at inwardly what are the local technological agency or organization that we have that can also aid some of their members. It will go a long way. Instead of them shouting, there's no forest, there's no forest.
All right, thank you so much. Now we move over to the headline story on the Guardian. It's also a development story, given what played out Tuesday night in Ibadan. And the Guardian says outrage as Ibadan explosion exposes illegal mining with regulations. And of course, during this inauguration, the Minister of Mines and Steel has been talking tough concerning the mining industry, but nothing seems to be happening, given the fact that foreigners are still having a few days mining illegally in our country and in some of the states of the federation. And don't forget, many have also tied illegal mining activities to terrorism or banditry activities in some of the states across the northern zone.
It's very, very key. These are issues that are the boiling point in Nigeria. Mining and kidnapping and banditry, they are now being linked together. Just like what happened in Niger Delta some years back, where we now oil bunkering, oil theft to kidnapping and other outreach issues in Niger Delta. So this has also been linked. Now, particularly the illegal mining people. And for one thing that I've been able to understand so far in this particular issue is that it's not just that the mining, some of the miners are illegal. They have the license.
Okay.
But the problem they have is that they are overstepping their boundaries when it comes to issue of mining regulation in Nigeria. And what do I mean by that? Like the man that caused the Ibadan explosion
But sorry, before you just go into details, when you said most of them have their mining licenses, but is the federal government not supposed to be in charge of these mining licenses, given the fact that Land Use Act, the federal government is actually in charge of these minerals and what have not in the land?
What we need to also understand, when a miner get CAC corporation, get license for mining regulation in Nigeria, get another license from there's one particular agency, mining cadastral zone agency of Nigeria. They also give them license. Now, when they move to the site, at the site level, they approach the state government. The state government give them also license, give them registration. Local government also give them license. Now, there is this category of people that we call artisan miners. They don't have that leverage of all these documents that this person has. This company has. But what this person will do is to engage these artificial miners, and ask them to be mining those places. Then to paying them. Then some have to go and mine and sell to him. That's how he operates. I think recently I'm helping a friend out on the mining community in Kuje. He's writing his PhD work on that. So we were able to visit that Kuje area and we understand some of this time. So there are a group of miners. We have the artificial miners. We have the main miners that have the regulation law from the government. Then we also have another set of people that mostly constitute the indigenous of those communities who also mine. Those ones don't even send you. They don't even need any. They will tell you because it's their place. They can do anything with what they have. They can remove those things and they don't have it. So what they do is to remove and sell. It happened in Nassau. It also happened in Kuje. So at the end of the day, these people gather all these things and give to the mining person that have all the documents. So this one can use this document to carry out all those materials anywhere you want to take it to and export them. But this other artificial one, they don't have, the government don't have their data, or sometimes government may claim to have their data. Like what the minister is saying right now, he said want to create a data for all the artificial miners, which we normally call informal miners, operating in the informal sector, so that they can have a data for them, so they can, because they see them as the main people constituting the problem. But they have forgotten that it is these official ones that you recognize that are giving these guys the opportunity to do what they are doing. You get it? Yes. But with what incident that happened in Ibadan right now, it has shown that the official one that government recognized are the one even constituting a lot of the problem. How could someone just stockpile mining product explosive in a particular house for a very long time? I know an artificial miner may not have that opportunity to store that kind of number of explosive, but someone who have the regulation, who have the law, who have everything is doing that. That's why I said the problem should not be, let us focus more on these people. With the policing enforcement that the ministry is bringing up, it can help us to read out the bad eggs among the informal artificial miners.
Do you, in your own view, how can the government streamline the activities of these miners?
It's possible. It's because we have been so looked away. We have looked away from what mining can give us. It was just because of this new minister said, with mining, we can have up to a 50% to our GDP.
Yes.
And he's working towards it. That's why I say we need mining police.
The minister seem to have gone, I would like to use the word quiet. There's disquiet in the ministry.
Maybe because the framework for that.
Given his earlier stance.
Exactly. Maybe or they may be doing something that they may want to show it to the media. You get it? There may be paperwork going up here and there. And again, the president also said something around mining police, forest police, as well as marine police. So it could be in the line of understanding that we are coming up with a framework that will help us to guide the mining sector of Nigeria, particularly not just to police it, but because what I'm interested in is not the policing. It's how to take those things and turn them into finished products that can help us and earn us foreign currency. Because when we are just policing, we are not going to earn anything. These guys will still come back in the night and do what they want to do. And again, the politicization of this mining sector is also a challenge, whereby the local government is also having power over how to control those mining people. When we visited what they call it, Kuje, we knew what the Kuje area council, the department that was in charge of those, we knew what the kind of, I think we have to go to them and say we are going to this particular site to go and check one or two things so that we can take a study of it before. And they were like, normally we do this, we put our names down, we do everything, but we still know what they are officially. Although we know where they are going, but because we already told them that we are researchers, we are not interested in all this bureaucratic, so we don't want to play with anybody or begin to say we want to exchange envelope for something. So we have to go and do our work. So what I'm trying to point out, the local government is also having power, especially on these artificial miners or what we call informal miners, because most of them rely on the licenses or the what they call the fee, the service fee or the paper they normally give them daily to go and mine those areas because they collect money from them on daily basis.
No, can't the federal government, just like it did in with petroleum, can't it also has things that would, on its own, even deploy personnel to these mining. Nigeria is so blessed. We have minerals in all the 36 states of the federation, including FCT. So can't the federal government actually take charge of this now?
They will. I think that's one of the suggestions they have given. That's why even the minister was talking about they're going to incorporate a mining company of Nigeria.
Yes.
Whereby their mining company, maybe it could be for limestone,
Yes.
my limestone mining company, it will be domiciled in that particular community.
Then
to be
lead,
yes,
it could be for gold.
They will just do that.
We have bitumen, and Nigeria is we are still doing paying arm and egg to just tar our road. So we have large quantity of deposit of bitumen.
So if we can have those mushroom of companies as a cottage company across the 304 local government where we can find all manner of mineral resources, it will go a long way. Now it will not be that government will now buy those things from those people and sell it to whoever they want to sell it, or take it from that particular place, take it to another where they can have a cottage finishing factory where it will turn around some of those products into fine goods for us to export or to consume locally.
South Africa is doing.
Yes.
South Africa gold and diamond.
It's true. We can do that, but it's just that the political will. And again, distraction. Government is so distracted. Just like you rightly pointed, why are we not hearing anything from the minister again? He has been distracted to another thing. By the time you realize, another 6 months has gone, you will now come back and say, mining something. They will begin to look at it again. They call press, they call everybody, they want to do one retreat or one conference on mining. Meanwhile, they have done similar thing before. So, for me, just like for the government, you need to be focused. Whoever is put in a particular position to be focused, I think they should. I don't want to believe they have the timetable for what they will be doing. They do have. But the thing is that distraction is everything about government. Right now, everybody is looking at Davos. What is happening in the world economy for? What will be the end of? That's what everybody is looking at. By the time they come back now, they realize that time has gone and there's nothing to even show after end of the first quarter of the economy of Nigeria.
Now, Nigeria keeps talking about diversification from oil. Yet there seems to be no political will to actually diversify. Given the detailed explanation you just gave, especially on our mining sector, what can the federal government actually do to diversify the economy from mono economy from oil to other vibrant sectors?
A very key thing the government can do, we have said it on different platforms, including here, was that government need to understand you need to be in business.
And don't forget, this government also came up with a blue economy.
Yes, the marine or the
marine and blue and many people Nigerians commended it that is a good one. That Nigerians can actually realize so much from that blue economy. Yet, since the inauguration of the cabinet, it has also gone.
Because the government is not interested in fishing. What is blue economy? Blue economy is fishing. I mean, we don't understand what blue economy is. It's fishing. Does the government have a fishing company? That is it. So the grammar around this is making some people to be when they say blue economy, is there anything that will be flying blue? It's not. It's fishing. We don't have a fish. There is no federal fishing trawler. That is it. And the other aspect of it is that you collect taxes from sheep and the rest of them, or people that will be doing fishing on the sea of Nigeria. Simple. It's all about fishing. Nothing strange about blue economy. Just like when we say digital economy, you wonder what is digital economy. It's nothing strange. Blue economy is about how government can tap the resources in the sea. Like what the minister was saying sometimes, that we can also tap gold. We can also tap some precious stones in the sea. That is all. So how can we take advantage of those things, those deposits in the sea, that especially in the radius of Nigerian water territory?
But actually, Nigeria has large quantity of fishes. But at the end of the day, it's just like Norway. This is
what they rely on. Japan, what the name of this fish that we eat? The original Titus and the fake Titus. It comes from Japan. You get it?
So what can Nigeria actually do to diversify the economy? Because there seems to be no political will towards that direction.
I think there is something the government have done recently that I really commend them. You must have heard the name MOFI. Yes. Minister of Finance Incorporation. Yes. This is the leading government company that will be helping government to look out for where it can invest money. Recently, there is a new dividend that this government company is taking over some what do you call it, some power companies. You must
Yes.
have read the story.
Okay, like they took over this Cardinal district.
Yes, you know that and there's a big investment money in that particular company, over a 1 trillion naira to be put in as a, as a, what do you call it, as a seed fund for that company. So that company can be used to guide other aspects of the economy and begin to bring resources. Apart from that, we have over 64 government-owned enterprises. This government-owned enterprise can also diversify.
Okay.
Even though they have been taxed that they must bring in 22 trillion as revenue into the economy, they can also diversify what they are doing. The one in the transport, Nigerian Railway Corporation, and the rest of them, they can diversify and also bring, like this mining. Some of them can even go into mining businesses. So for me, there's nothing wrong with government investing in business and being the owner of a particular business. I think that's the best way. Then the other aspect is how to look out for other areas like agriculture that can also help us. Because government need to invest also in farming. With all this can help us, and government can make more money. It can also help the economy.
Yes,
to
like
grow.
against a security strategists did point out that one of the ways to tackle these abduction kidnappings is because there are so many ungoverned spaces in Nigeria. It's just through farming.
Exactly.
And they
Yes,
that,
now.
that when federal government invests in farming, clear this
Sites.
sites and for farming to actually push back bandits.
It will not just push them back. It will even employ some of them and become farmers within, or hired farmers within those sectors. So I believe that government have a big role to play in diversifying the economy, particularly if they can identify a particular business, they will put their money in and they will make more money. Like we have been shouting, there is the transportation issue. What stop government from having long distance transport buses? Instead of them giving billions of naira to some private, it's good to give those private companies those money, but government can also have its own, because that's what developed countries do. Government will not just rely on the private sector alone to be pushing the economy. They also have something as a backup that will assist the people, particularly the vulnerable people in our society, that will give them that service through a welfare scheme. And that's what we are looking at for the government to do.
Thank you so much. Now, just before we go, there's another leading story. The electricity subsidy rises to 1.6 trillion naira as discos raise tariffs amid the economic hardship Nigerians are facing.
I think for me, the what do you call it, NEC have said they didn't raise any tariff. That's what they are saying. They say if they have raised any tariff, they will send a memo out to people to see, and everybody would have seen. I remember this.
But there were times when they raised tariff, they didn't even send any memo out.
Yeah, they did it, but at the end of the day, the ones they did that period was the one they reversed. I think this noise about raising tariff started late November, and they came out and said, no, we have not raised tariff. But what I know is that the subsidy that government is paying, people should allow it to stay. Because the more we try to make noise around it, the more it will give powers to all these disco companies to agitate.
If this subsidy payment by federal government brings to mind, is it that the discos, they are not making money, getting revenue?
I think for me,
the
first thing, let us review the pay package of the board and the management of those companies. They are earning more. They are
but
earning
last year
so
in November,
much.
we were told that their licenses were expiring.
That's
that
another
it was due
issue.
for renewal. So is
And
it
they
that the
didn't come
federal
forward.
government renewed the papers of these discos that are not actually, they are virtually moribund and not generating revenue?
The agreement doing the selling of those discos, the agreement was after a particular period. There will be a review of what they have done. The government can take initiative from it. I think some of them fall short of those initiatives. Some of them fall flat because they were not able to meet up. And you remember that most of them, when they came into the business, they were not having money initially to buy those things. It was just a giveaway thing that let us give it to our friends, let us share it as a patrimony to some of the elite in our society. And most of them use some backup papers that they have borrowed money from banks. Although some borrowed, that's why banks wanted to take over some of them. But some did not borrow. But because of their class in our society, they were able to give to them. But at the end of the day, they discovered that for me, it is about the review of the package or the management of those companies. The shareholders of those companies are the ones that killed those companies. It's not that people are not paying. They earn money. People are paying, even with estimated billing of 3,000 right now that we are paying. People are paying. But the issue is that the management and the shareholders are the ones ripping it off. If you check the profile of what they are in terms of their salary package and what they are doing in retreat and also, they spend so much. All of them, non-management staff, in the last 2 weeks, I've been going around the Abuja decision company. Come and see SUV that is costing more than 200 million that top management are using, including the pickup that is very expensive, the major pickup that they normally use for police escort. Very expensive. These are the cars that management top staff are using. and you ask me they don't make money. So how did they get it 150,
Yes,
200?
they refuse to plow back some of the profits
Exactly, into the company. So when you are making more money from your business and you are not putting it back, so how do you want it to grow? And again, we must also make our people understand, when government sell its companies, it becomes an opportunity for people to just collect it, eat whatever they want to eat at it, then throw it back at government and say, the thing is not good. Do you remember this same discourse have been, the CBN spent over 30 trillion on them? And you ask me, where is the money that CBN spent on them that they cannot be able to recoup what they brought into the business and what CBN even give to them? So for me, it's about government just have to look at it. If government is taking over, let them take it over and let them bring management that can have a modest salary and remuneration package, not the one that will be too luxury for people, because the moment you enter a particular management or board or level, you become to agitate for bigger money or bigger salaries. It kills company, it kills the organization, and that's what many people don't know.
All right, thank you so much for your take on Inside Nigeria this morning. It's always
Thanks
a
for
pleasure
having me.
to listen to you on the program. Well, viewers, this is where we draw the curtain on today's Thursday edition of your show, Inside Nigeria. I have with me the pleasure of having with me always every Thursday my Thursday guest, Olamilekun Adefolari. And my name is Winifred Ubebo. Until tomorrow, same time for me, and next week, Thursday, again for Lami. Here is wishing you a beautiful day. See you then. Bye.
Thank you for watching Fossilship and Advert.
Next, should take over the other
I do.
I don't even know what they are waiting for. People that are not just doing anything. You have increased your subsidy payment. I don't know if it's
3688 61 5